They say 5 acres is more than enough to live off-grid. Grow your own food, raise animals, collect rainwater unplugged from, well, everything. But is that really true? Or is that just another internet YouTube fantasy? Today we're breaking down what actually works, what falls apart fast, and what no one tells you until you've already sold the house and bought the land. Look, I've lived on a working farm for years. I've met folks chasing that off-grid dream. The internet loves to tell you that 5 acres is perfect. Small enough to manage, big enough to grow all your own food, raise animals, and have some peace and quiet. You'll see thumbnails of tiny homes, chickens in green pastures, solar panels soaking up the sun. And yeah, some of that's possible. You can raise a lot of food on 5 acres. You can set up energy and water systems. But there's a catch. You can't grow everything year-round. You'll need serious infrastructure. It's going to cost more, and it's going to take a lot longer than you think. Okay, let's break it down. Here's what we learned on our farm over the years. First, water is everything. If you don't have a well, creek, maybe a couple creeks, a solid catchment system, you're gonna struggle. 5 acres without water is just a dry lot. Second, energy. You need solar, maybe batteries, and probably a generator. You can't run everything at once unless your system's built for it. You're going to have to learn not to use as much electricity. Third, food production. You can grow a lot on 5 acres, but not everything. And look, crops take rotation. You got to deal with pest control. You've got to time everything right and have backup plans just in case things go to hell in a handbasket. You'll need ways to preserve your food as well. You need to can. You're going to need to freeze dry, and you're certainly going to need to know cold storage. Fourth, livestock. Yeah, you can raise chickens, rabbits, maybe even a few goats, but every animal eats. So what's your plan when feed prices go up through the roof or pasture runs short in the winter? Look, you might have seen folks online living off-grid on just 1 acre, maybe in a tiny house. Some of them make it look so easy, but most of those videos skip over the hard parts. The cost of setup, the backup systems, the daily work to keep everything running. What works for a weekend on a camera may not actually hold up in the middle of your winter. So what does work? Here's what I recommend if you're thinking about going off-grid. 1, build your systems before you fully go off-grid. 2, have multiple sources of water. A well catchment, backup tanks, whatever, but have water. 3, start with some savings. Off-grid living can be expensive to get started. 4, get to know your neighbors. Sooner or later, you're going to need help. 5, know your region. Understand what grows well, what doesn't, and what happens when the weather goes sideways. Look, if you've got a plan, 5 acres can give you a strong foundation, but it's not a magic number. It's the systems and skills that matter the most. So, can you live off-grid with just 5 acres? Absolutely, but not the way the internet sells it. It takes real planning and a lot of work and a willingness to learn every time something breaks. And trust me, stuff's gonna break. If you're serious about this lifestyle, start small, plan well, and learn from folks who've actually done it. Got questions about off-grid living or want to share your own experience? Drop a comment below. I do read every one. And if you want to see how we've built systems that actually work, go ahead and subscribe. Look, we're not selling dreams here. We're showing the real work behind a self-reliant lifestyle. Until next time, I'll see you down at the barn.